Alright, as many of you may or may not know, this is National Physical Fitness Month. And here at Hilton Ed Health, we want to encourage you to become physically fit. Why? Because every 36 seconds somebody's dying from cardiovascular disease, and we don't want any of you to be the next one, right? So we're going to challenge you today with our H3 challenge with 4 exercises that are incredibly functional. A squat, a push-up, a crunch, and jumping jacks. Now don't turn the video off now, because from this point forward I'm going to give you adaptations. Everyone can do this, and I know you're sitting at your desk or you're at home at your table, and we're going to find a way you can just push away from that desk and do it right now. Because as you and I know, if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it later today. So let's get started. Okay guys, for our first challenge, we're going to do a squat. Don't be worried about the technique. I'm going to give you all the specifics in just a second. And if you're worried about your knees, hips, lower back, and ankles, I'll give you some variations as we go along. A couple key things as we're doing the squat. Number one, make sure that your second toe, your knee, and your hip all stay aligned. Your chest stays up tall. It's just like getting into and out of the chair you're at right now. So some important things that we're going to do is make sure that you breathe, make sure that your core stays nice and tight. So for a basic squat, chest up tall, hands out in front, you'll stick your rear end out back, and push right back up through your heels. Okay? So rear end goes out, press up through your heels. Don't get started quite yet, because we're going to pause the video in just a moment and give you an amount of time that you should do this exercise. A variation. If you're at your desk and you want to try to do a chair squat, or if you're worried about those knees, hips, or ankles, you can sit in this position with your chest up tall, stand up, and sit back down. Okay? When you feel like you've progressed, you can just touch your glutes down to the chair and then come right back up. Okay? And finally, if you have a football, you're at home, put that football up against the wall, put it in the arch of your lower back. Same thing, second toe, knee, and hip. Squat down as if you're getting into that chair, and then right back up. Okay, so here's the challenge. You have 60 seconds to complete as many squats as you can, either air squats, chair squats, or ball squats. Okay? Remember your number, write it down, and then we're going to ask you to post it into the comments underneath this blog in just a moment. Okay? So let's pause the video, push away from your desk, and do it now. Don't wait. Alright, exercise number 2 is going to be a push-up. Again, bear with me. I'm going to show you the 3 different ways to do this one. You choose the one that's going to fit for you the best. We'll pause the video, and you complete it. So a basic push-up can be really empowering. It works all your upper body muscles, including your chest, your triceps, biceps. Your core even has to be engaged as you're doing a push-up. Let me start with just a basic push-up. Make your way down to the floor. From your toes, with your hands shoulder-width apart, you can go down to the floor and right back up. Okay, if we're not quite to that point yet, knees go on the ground, ankles up or crossed, and chest goes out over your hands. What I don't want to see, guys, don't pray to me. Okay, don't do any of this. Get your chest out over your hands. I'm happy with just a shallow push-up like this. If that's what we've got right now, it'll improve over the days and weeks to come. And finally, if you're in your home or you're at the office and you can't get down to the floor, or if you're having trouble getting back up, we can do it against the dresser or the desk. So hands up against the dresser or the desk, down to the surface, and right back up. Okay, so here's the challenge. Again, pause the video, 1 minute of exercise, post in the comments below the number that you've done. Good job. Alright, exercise number 3 is for your core. It's your body's center of gravity. It's what's going to keep you stable in everyday activities. So let's make our way down to the floor. Just a basic crunch for this next exercise. Feet flat, hands cradling your head with your thumbs behind your ears and your elbows out nice and wide. You're going to use your abdominal muscles to lift your shoulder blades up off the floor while keeping your eyes on the ceiling. One last thing to keep in mind is to make sure you're breathing as you're doing this exercise. Try to exhale as you crunch up. Lift the shoulder blades up and return back down to the floor. Another variation, if you're having trouble getting up and down and you have the football there at the home, sit on your ball, walk it out, keep your feet flat with your hands cradling your head and the ball in the arch of your lower back. You'll crunch up, squeeze your abdominal muscles, and return right back to where you started. Same as before, guys. 1 minute, as many as you can. Post it to the comments below. I look forward to seeing these. Okay, guys, so up to this point, we've done 3 exercises. We started with the squat, right? That was leg muscles, a very functional exercise, something you've got to be able to do for the rest of your life. We then went to a push-up, an amazing, empowering upper body exercise. Then we worked our way down to the floor and we strengthened our body's center of gravity. Finally, our last exercise is going to help with your endurance. It's something to measure on a consistent basis to make sure your cardiovascular system is staying strong. This is a jumping jack. Again, you can do it right here in your office or home. I want you to push away from the table, stand up out of the chair. Here's your low impact jumping jack, right? One foot's always on the ground. Here's your higher impact jumping jack. Both feet are coming up off the ground, hands touch, and come all the way down to your sides. The key to this is, again, 1 minute, count as you go along, record the number down. I want to thank everybody for participating today, and keep in mind, keep this stuff up. This is our H3 challenge. I also want to remind you guys, if you post your comments down below, we're going to take part in drawing a name. It's part of our Perfect Week. We'll reward you guys for taking part in our H3 challenge. So thank you very much. Look to see you again sometime soon.